Joaquin County Supervisor. Join us weekly for our local reality show. We talk about all things local, political, current, and real. Join us on KXVS, the voice of Stockton. Catch us at KXVS Radio or at thevoiceofstockton.org.
My name is Josh, and you're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton, 92.1 FM. Catch us live on Facebook, YouTube, and the TuneIn app.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect those of KXVS, the voice of Stockton, or its parents, affiliates, management, and staff.
KXVS, the voice of Stockton. It's time for the Tom Patti reality show with your host, Tom Patti.
Thank you, Governor Don. As always, I appreciate you and all that you do for this station. Welcome, everybody. This is my show. I am Tom Patti, one of your county supervisors, and this is that Tom Patti reality show of 2018, where we do talk about everything that's local, political, current, and real. Thank you for joining us today. Ted, thanks for being here. Appreciate you always helping and administering this show. So I know we have an action-packed afternoon here, and I was running late. I was at a doctor appointment, so I finally got out of here through traffic, and here we are. So let's jump right into it, because I know we have a full guest.
We do. We have a full slate. We have two different panels. Our first panel, I'll introduce him in just a second. But before we get to our first guest, I noticed that on one of your public service Facebook pages, Jasmine Leak, who hosts one of her own shows here, Word of Mouth, every Sunday, she thanked you and your colleagues on the Board of Supervisors for either establishing or looking into the establishment of a county commission on the status of women. I was wondering if you could take maybe 25, 30 seconds, or long, as much time as you feel necessary to discuss that.
Yeah, it was an interesting discussion, a full panel discussion. It wasn't something that was just presented and we decided upon it. We really looked at it and talked about it as a board, which, when the five of us get together in session, it's the only time we get to talk together and work together as a board. So we had a panel of gals that came up, and some of them had worked on behalf of women's issues for decades. And they were kind of looking to be recognized as a county commission, and where we really, analyze, and we have to decide on how do we best serve the county, the residents, the issues for women and children. We also have, of course, existing committees and departments that also look into and take care of women's health and children's health and such. So, there's a lot of need for it throughout every community, of course. And but what we're going to do is we're going to look for staff to work with this committee of gals and decide, is it really better that are we going to serve them best with a commission and recognizing them as a commission, or perhaps an ad hoc committee? And when you say ad hoc, we're allowed by law, we can have one or two supervisors that will automatically be assigned and work with that group, and that might be a better way to work with this organization and all of the efforts they have to work on women's issues, whether it be health, career, messaging, well-being. There's a myriad of constant issues in this community and abroad. So yeah, it was a big, healthy discussion. It was about an hour long of discussion and listening to different people with different ideas.
Interesting. Yes, I noticed you received some positive feedback on your public service Facebook accounts. And speaking of great things at San Joaquin County, our guest.
We have Phonxey, and I don't have my glasses on. How do I properly say your last name, Phonxey?
Last name is pronounced Keokham.
Keokham.
Yes.
And that's not even close to the way it looks how it's spelled.
No, it doesn't.
I was going to say it's pronounced exactly the way it's spelled.
Not even close, but it's a great name. And Phonxey itself is unique and just like you. So tell us a little bit. I know you worked for the county for quite a long time, and I'm lucky to now be working as a supervisor and working with you and finding out the myriad of things that many departments do. And you're at the forefront. You're an acting director. The director recently retired. And so tell us a little bit about what you're currently doing and a little bit more on your story, how you got here.
Okay. Well, I joined the San Joaquin County. I actually joined San Joaquin County in 2005 after leaving California Franchise Tax Board as a tax auditor. I originally joined the county administrator's office, and after 6 years, Mr. Khan asked if I would like to be his assistant. So that's how I got started in the Treasurer Tax Collector's office.
Now, how's that start? Like, were you in college? You obviously you graduated and you're qualified. What draws a person is I'm actually doing a lot of talks with some youth about careers, and there's over 450 plus careers in America, and kids probably know of about 5. So what inspired you to get into this field?
Well, I started off as a business major at first, and I think as starting off as a business major, you kind of get a broad sense of the different disciplines in a business, and I found one of the subjects that I found challenging was accounting. So after seeing how challenging it was, I kind of steered my career towards that path, and that's what really helped me obtain the position. I later on became a CPA, and that's when I think one of the qualifications that Mr. Khan was looking for.
So were you in the private sector first?
No, I was not. I was in the California Franchise Tax Board as in the tax auditor, and later on I helped form the first abusive tax shelter unit. And again, I obtained my license through the California Franchise Tax Board.
Let's back up a little bit. Are you from here? Are you from San Joaquin County?
Yes, I am. I've been a resident of San Joaquin County for the last 34 years. I'm actually a Stockton product. Graduated from Amos Alonzo Stack High School.
All right. So did I. Of course, I
excellent.
graduated probably 2 decades before you. I was class of 81.
Okay. Class of 94.
Yeah, all right, there you go. 15 right around 15 years later. Great. So then you went away to college where?
I went to college here in town at Humphreys College. I obtained a bachelor's in business administration and also a bachelor's in accounting. After that, I went to school at Stanislaus State. California State Stanislaus. I obtained my master's in business administration there.
Fantastic. And then, you planned on the whole time. This is home. This is where your family is. This is where you wanted your career to be.
That is right, and that's the same plans I have for my son too. Hopefully, he goes away for. I wouldn't say go away for college, but hopefully he returns back and gives back to our community.
How old is your young boy?
He's 4 years old right now.
4?
Yes.
Okay. Well, but believe it or not, you got to start. I talked to my daughter, 8 years old. I talk about careers and preparation, and you don't just wait till have that conversation later.
Yes.
So it's that's good. It's fun having a little 4-year-old. That's great.
Yes, it is. It's excellent.
It's the best year. I wish if I could have my daughter 4 for about 12, 15 years. That's that age of wonder and look what I made, and they want to play, and their little worries are simple little problems, and they're so engaging, and their little personalities are dynamic.
Yes.
So I have a lot of fun with that. Any plans for more kids?
I do have a daughter. She's about to turn 2, so that's
Okay.
one of each, and I think we're done.
Oh heck yeah, that's good. So you got a little princess, and
Yes.
you got the superhero. What's his superhero right now?
Name's Alexander. He's going to school right down the street, actually, at a private school.
Enunciation?
No, I can't remember the name of the school. I should be a little bit better than that.
So my question is, who's his superhero right now? Is he Spider-Man? Is he Iron Man?
I'm sorry. Yes. He's a big Batman fan.
He's a Batman guy. That was me when I was a little kid. But I used to run around with a towel, with a towel tied around my neck and run around the house like I had a cape on.
That is him.
It's awesome. That's a ton of fun. So then, Mr. Khan retired this year.
That is correct.
And I'm actually very friendly with him, and he was a fantastic. He was our tax collector, right?
Correct.
He was the main man. But every year when I wrote my taxes out and I had to write his name on the check, I was like, ugh.
It's painful.
Mr. Khan, the wrath of Khan. So that now you're going to be that guy. You want to be that guy. You're running for it. And you've been in the department for a lot of years. So tell me how long you've been there and what your plans are.
I've been with the department for the last 6 years. I think my plans are to just kind of modernize the office. I know that we'll have demographics of our community will be changing soon as the shift from home ownership changes from the baby boomers on down. I think we just want to get ready for that. Also, succession planning is a very difficult thing in our office. We have about 20% of our staff that is eligible for retirement right now. So you have to
really,
for that. Yes.
Wow. So you've got a lot of change coming on.
Correct.
And I know that in the past I've sat in on some meetings when we were talking about different programs that would perhaps address tax issues, and you're very knowledgeable. You're highly qualified at this job, and I appreciate the fact that you didn't leave San Joaquin County working as an assistant director. So this is kind of a natural succession for you.
Yes, I would hope so. It's, there's just a lot of things we need to do and modernize our office. Just getting ready for the next generation of homeowners. I think I have the skill sets for it, and without alienating the current homeowners right now. So it should be interesting.
Cool. Now, we recently, a little bit before I became a supervisor, and one of my predecessors, Steve Bestelaridis, was he petitioned and was interviewed, and he was appointed to the assessor's office. So we've got assessors, we got appraisers, and we have tax. These are kind of the three bodies that work together.
Correct.
So you guys had some challenges, though, because it was my understanding that the assessors and the tax collectors had a similar system that worked together, and the assessor's office didn't.
That's correct. So we have a tax system. The name of the tax system is Megabyte, and the treasurer tax collector and the auditor's office was on the same system. For many years, actually since the beginning of it, the assessor's office was never on our system. Now the assessor's office is currently on our system. It just it allows us to kind of streamline our process.
So that was one of those forward-thinking things that I'm sure you had to work with Steve Bestelaridis.
Correct.
To get bring it on task and get it working and functioning. I'm not sure if Mr. Kahn was that computer guy, but I'm betting you were on the forefront of what Steve needed.
Yes, I helped out, and our staff helped out a lot. I think it is gearing us for the future. It streamlines the process. A lot of the inefficiencies that are involved with having two different systems that don't quite communicate that well together, those issues are eliminated. So I'm very happy that we're on the same system. I think we were the only county that had the Megabyte that didn't have all three offices on the same system. So I'm grateful for it. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure now you look back, it's like, how is this not going on? And you kind of, it was butting your head against the wall that it didn't happen that way. And now you're part of something which I know we as supervisors are constantly, I'm always saying that we want to be efficient and we want to be effective. And when you've got systems working together and you're able to share information and transactions can happen more efficiently and effectively, I think it streamlines the process, takes away a lot of frustration from the private sector, and it really shows that we're doing our job at the county level.
Correct. You're absolutely right. Writing a check out to Mr. Khan is difficult enough, so we try to, our office tries to make that process as easy as possible. So that's kind of the key here.
So when we get our bills this next year, and you are running for office, so we need to make sure not, just to, with full clarity, I want to let people know that you're regarded as one of the top in your profession, and I really appreciate that level that you bring to the job. And that I know that if we need something, if we call the tax collector's office, we know that we're getting someone in the top of the field that's very well acquainted and very, very efficient at what we need from you guys. So is your name going to be as Mr. Khan's name was, where you have to sign checks to your name?
Yes, it'll be on the tax bill, and again, it'll take some getting used to regarding the spelling and adjusting the different computer systems. I know a lot of people will have Mr. Khan's name written in as a payee, so those things will need to be adjusted. So. Okay,
but I do know that you can also write a check out to an alternate title.
We will cash any check. San Joaquin County, SJC, TTC, we'll cash any checks that are written into the office.
So that option does exist.
Yes, it does.
I remember one time I was like, I'm not going to write a check to Mr. Khan. What else can I write it to? And they said, you can write it to San Joaquin County or something. And I did. And I was, I put a little funny note with it.
All I know is that, with my properties over in Atherton Cove and my ranch outside Escalon, it's very painful for me when I write my
big check every year.
Checks every year, absolutely.
Do they tax horses and horse ranches the same as?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
You don't get any special exemptions?
You have to apply for that separately through the state.
Yeah. Okay. That's a tough one. You get a 20 horse thoroughbred stable?
Oh God, at least. Yeah, absolutely. It's those racehorses that I train. And breed.
Now, is it true?
Full-time job.
What I've heard, in order to get a small fortune out of horses, you actually need to start with a big fortune, and it just dwindles down when you're working with all these horses.
That's correct. That's exactly.
It's pretty true, right?
It is. So, Mr. Keokham, closing thoughts on your campaign, or not so much your campaign, but what you plan on do, assuming that you were fortunate enough to be elected. Closing thoughts.
Again, I just like to focus on modernizing the office and operating the office similar to a business, not so much to making profit, just to make
efficiency.
Things exactly, just have some efficiency there. One of the things that I'm really that I'm concerned about again is we do have the technology that's out there to streamline a lot of things, but sometimes I think our demographic doesn't quite lend to it, similar to the Bay Area or the Southern California counties. But again, just being ready for that transition is the key, because when the change in demographic comes, it's going to come really quickly. And I think again, we want to have the tools and the services available for those people.
Is there is there a pipeline of personnel that we can hire? Because you're saying 20% of the staff is going to be retiring in short order. What's you have any plans for succession, and so we're fully staffed?
Yes, we do have some excellent employees lined up to take over those positions. That's something you don't start working on today. That's something we worked on 3 or 4 years ago with the help of human resources. We're able to put mid-level positions in there so they're able to transition into those supervisor positions. So again, we've been working on that. We saw the issue about 2-3 years ago, and we started addressing it.
What's the population of your staff inside the tax collector's department?
We have 41 employees.
41?
41 employees, but that includes the Revenue and Recovery Division.
Okay.
The Treasurer Tax Collector's Office is made up of 25 employees.
Okay.
So you have 16 from the Revenue and Recovery Division.
Right. But in total, as a director, you'd be overseeing an operation with 40-plus employees.
That is correct.
Wow, that's that keeps you busy and hopping, and we do have a lot of great departments to help, like our human resources, and in particular, we have a lot of support personnel on board. But also, you guys work in autonomy. You've got us county supervisors entrust the director like you to execute and handle, and you come to us whenever there's issues of we're going to have some maybe pass through funding or something and approve some changes that you might want to bring on board. But in reality, you're running that department.
That is correct.
And you've been there for how many years now?
6 years now.
6 years?
6 years, yes.
So you've got your hands on and you're doing it all right now as it is.
That is correct. That is correct. Since the retirement of Mr. Khan, I've been operating the office since he's left. So.
Now, have you ever had to call him up and say, by the way, I got a quick question?
He's out of the country.
He's out of the country?
Yeah. So he's been on a long vacation after his retirement, but I believe he should be back here pretty soon.
Well, he deserves it. He was a
good
good man. He worked for the county for 37 years?
38 years.
Phenomenal,
38 years.
phenomenal public servant.
Yeah,
for the county.
and a sweetheart of a guy. Just good man, good family, loved his community, and a good person.
Yes.
So we're lucky to have him. But I tell you, Phonxey, we'd be very fortunate to have you as well, and I look forward to supporting your campaign in any way possible.
Thank you.
And thanks for stepping up when we needed you, because the county we've got some phenomenal directors, and you are as an acting director, you are working and performing at a seamless level of service, and I appreciate that you've got your eye on the ball of what we need to do next.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Well, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for being here. All right, Ted, who else we got coming in today?
Great question. Our second panel will be John Lee and Loreen Huey, and they are leaders of the parade committee that we have every year for the Lunar New Year Parade, the Chinese American Lunar New Year Parade. I believe this year might be the year of the pig. Is it the year of the pig? It's the year of the dog.
It's the year of dog,
It's
I think.
the year. Okay, it is the year of the dog.
Yeah.
And they always put on a wonderful parade. And I know you participated in the parade, and I participated in the parade with a number of people. And it's always fun for the whole family. It's always good to see yet another segment of our county. And
well, as good as the parade is, I always want to get to the food, where the food's going to be really good, and the festivities that go with it, and the tradition. So as everybody's joining us, we appreciate John. Thanks. Welcome aboard. And we've got
Loreen and John.
Loreen and John, and I guess who wants to share first? What do you guys have planned? Loreen?
Hi, Tom. We're here to talk about our 40th parade event.
40th. How about that?
So it's quite the event where it's like a big reunion for the community. We do it the first Sunday of March every year, and this is the year of the dog. And, we have the parade. John's in charge of the parade, and then we funnel everybody into the festival after that, and they have free entertainment and lots of food and good times.
You guys doing the big kid zone this year too?
Yes.
Yes. So there's activities and festivities, and there's, but you also stick true. There's a lot of traditional things that you have traditional dances and some exhibits and a lot of sharing of the culture.
A lot of sharing of the culture, some authentic, jewelry, and you can get your name carved into a stone. And the Jinhua Senior Citizen Center will write your name in Chinese calligraphy on a ribbon for you. We don't want to just have people think it's chow mein and fried rice, so we've got chicken curry and we've got mango pudding this year, and we try to change things up. And
crab rangoons?
Oh no, not crab rangoons. Yeah.
So, any local restaurants that, in particular, that participate, or is it home cooked food that's people bringing? Who's
we cook on site. I'm in charge of the curry chicken for 250 of my favorite friends.
Really?
Yeah. And we cook that on site.
Is it a family recipe?
It's a secret family recipe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, outstanding. I'm going to I'll be first in line
All right.
Before you run out.
One of the churches is going to have a Chinese chicken salad. Oh. And then we get dim sum from one of the local restaurants, barbecue pork buns, sumai, all kinds of stuff. Lots of yummies. And, if you're not into the Chinese food, we've got hot dogs and nachos, too.
Oh, my gosh.
That's...
Who in the world?
It's
talk about
that, John.
Well, it's a festival.
Who doesn't like hot dogs and nachos? That's the question.
Well, that's for the kids, I'm sure. But my daughter will be there. It's like, Dad, I'm hungry. I want a hot dog. But
there you go.
But when you have such good food, it's like, can't even think about a hot dog. Forget it.
Yeah, Chinese New Year parade. I think I'll have a hot dog.
Yeah.
What you guys do something interesting like a hot dog with maybe duck sauce?
Maybe.
See, something like that would be cool.
We've had the unique toppings before.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Extra little flair. John, welcome aboard, and thanks for joining us today. You've been involved with the parade for how long now?
It'll be 10 years this year.
Wow, 10 years. That's great. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, I know both of you are here. You're native Stocktonians.
Correct.
So tell us a little history, a little family involvement, we have an extremely rich and very long heritage and culture and influence from the Asian, the Chinese community. And maybe you want to share some of that information with us.
Well, born and raised in Stockton, and my family has had a grocery, wholesale, warehouse, retail, meat market for 75 years it'll be. And currently, my brother's running Lou's Market. Now we have a deli.
Where's that located?
East Main Street.
East Main. So East of Main and where?
Main and Stanislaus.
Main and Stanislaus. Okay.
Right.
Downtown.
Yeah, 734 East Main. And my husband's family were farmers in the Delta, and we grew potatoes. And the Chinese came to this area because the Delta farmlands looked similar to the farmlands in China, and they built the levees and were able to reclaim the land, and they brought in produce that did quite well here, like asparagus and the new potatoes and onions. So they built the agriculture.
As a county supervisor, and we've been having, last year with the heavy rains, we are having some flood and some concerns with the levees. Are we still within the warranty period of when you guys built those levees?
I don't know how long's the warranty.
That's what I'm asking.
There are hundreds of. There are a few 100-year-olds plus.
There's some 100-year-old plus. So did the warranty wear out after 100 years on these?
I think they keep repairing them.
Yeah, we have to look up at the county. I'm have county council look up if you guys had built those. I think we should have some sort of warranty that came with them.
So let me ask a question: is there a specific region of China where Chinese immigrants to the San Joaquin Delta region were from, as opposed to other parts of China?
In the past, they came from the Guangzhou region,
which is near Hong Kong.
No, it's more southern.
Okay.
From the southern parts of China. Now the people who are coming from China are from all over and more educated. But the first people that came over were worker bees.
And they were from Guangzhou, which is in southern China.
And they spoke Cantonese.
Not
Okay.
not
Yeah,
Mandarin.
and now the people that are coming in speak more Mandarin,
Mandarin.
and are
Oh,
more
really?
educated.
Yeah.
And they would be more from Shanghai, Beijing, Hong Kong, the larger Taipei. I know Taipei is Taiwan, but Taiwan has a large Chinese immigrant population to that island.
Yes.
Okay, so now we're seeing more Chinese Americans in this community who are from multiple places in multiple regions in China.
Yes.
Which, because it's such a huge country.
So now the doctors are coming over.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
a billion people.
Yes, and educators.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
and that's why during Chinese New Year's, the whole country goes on vacation. It's like
in
China. And,
Really?
And most, except for essential services, everybody's on vacation because everyone needs to go back home. And
about that?
And it's the largest human migration in the world.
How about, and for how long? For days,
About
weeks?
15 days.
So, wow.
Yeah.
Tom, you might want to look into Air China having direct service from Stockton to Beijing.
Yeah, at the Stockton Airport.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Only during Chinese New Year.
Right,
Right,
seasonal,
right.
yes.
So, John, you're currently employed at the Wells Fargo, is that correct?
Correct. I'm born and raised in Stockton. My parents got here in the late 70s. Went to school here, University of the Pacific. Love
You
the
went
city.
to school here?
Yes.
Yeah, studying and...
business.
okay.
And love the city, love what it has to offer, and just want to try to give back in as many ways as I can.
Excellent. And that's, your family's been here, your second generation, third generation?
First generation, or I was born here, so my parents came here.
Okay.
Yeah, no intentions leaving. I think Stockton has plenty to offer, and yeah, I love it here.
Yeah, I do too. I lived in Los Angeles. I lived in New York City. I've traveled the world, traveled through Asia. I spent several weeks there traveling through the countryside. And I moved back here because I love this community and all that it offers. I recreate on the Delta and just our proximity and all the varieties
Yeah, we're
of
so
things we have.
centrally located. To
We
everything.
really are, yeah.
Yeah.
And thanks to those levees being built, we're not swampland.
Yeah,
You know,
there
we
you
used to
go.
be wetlands,
Yeah.
and that's which spawned all new, innovation. Caterpillar tractors, and
Right.
which led to World War II tanks, army tanks.
Right.
That was all the same technology, all spawned out of here. They say necessity is the mother of invention.
There you go.
And you guys, your culture and your history is all part of it. So
Well, they had to fight that peat dirt, and
Yeah.
when it's dry, it's like powder, and when it's wet, it's the stickiest mud.
slop and deep,
Yeah.
deep sloshy. Yeah, very true. And you also know a lot of people don't believe, but peat dirt's flammable.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
isn't that
all
amazing?
organic.
That's during when I go hunting with my dad growing up, we'd always look for, and you'd hear about hunters going through a field and they drop into, and the dog would drop into a sinkhole that was a molten peat dirt, and it was very unfortunate if you had to quickly grab your dog if you could.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's a very perilous situation. So it's a little dangerous unknown that's out there. Like
Yeah.
imagine dirt that's flammable.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So what time's the parade start? What time's the activities? And because there's also at the end of the parade where the festival is, you've got activities there. Is there a schedule of events?
Yep. So parade starts at 10 o'clock. Usually runs about an hour.
Okay.
So as soon as the parade wraps up, we go straight into the festival inside of the Civic, and we'll kick off our grand opening, have our lion dancers and things like that, and then everyone can enjoy all that we have to offer. The food and the arts and crafts, the kids zone, things like that.
Right. Are you one of the lions this year?
No, I'm too slow. I don't move quick enough, unfortunately, and I can't be one of the lions.
And there's a tradition, there's a style to it. It's not just get up and parade around. It's
Right.
there's and it's a very rich tradition. I mean, you see a lot of the youth that are participating. There's a lot of pride in it.
Is there? I was gonna ask
we have an entertainment schedule from 11:30 to 4, and one of the groups, we spend a lot of money bringing in these lion dance troops in, and one of the groups will be at 11:45, and they do the drunken lion and the pole dancing, where the lions jump from pole to pole, which is really
What's the meaning of it? Like you say, the drunken lion dance or something. I wouldn't know what. I see this traditional dance. I don't know the meaning
Right.
behind it.
they just
It's
mimic.
just a style?
Yeah, it's just a style.
Okay.
And it's just like different styles of kung fu. They have
Okay.
different styles.
I was just going to
of
ask,
lion
maybe
dance.
martial arts related.
Right. And sometimes if you see these the lions are the short animals.
Okay.
2 people. And the dragons are the one that can be multi.
Oh, how about that?
The dragons are very, very long.
Okay.
And there's a lot of stories that go on with it, but there's always someone there with a fan, and he looks kind of clownish, and he's the one that teases the lions, because the lions they're lazy and they're kind of sleepy.
Right.
They want to take a nap. So a lot of times you'll see them get on the stage and trying to take a nap, and then they get teased by this clown. And one of the things that is done at New Year's is they take a head of lettuce, and it's like an offering to the lion, and the lion eats it, and then he spits it out. And if you get hit by the lettuce, that's supposed to bring you good fortune.
Luck. Okay.
Yeah. Lettuce, money is green.
Right.
That kind of thing. So
Got it. Excellent.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, a lot of neat traditions. And you're importing these dancers that do this.
Yes.
But where are they coming in from?
We have San Francisco, Sacramento.
Around.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Now,
so the Year of the Dog is this year.
Yes.
Do you offhand know the significance of Year of the Dog?
Being born in the Year of the Dog, you're smart, you're loyal, you take on the characteristics of dogs, and all things that are good with the dog and bad with the dog, people can take on those characteristics.
Yeah. Okay. Ted, do you know what character you are?
I do not know that yet. No.
Yeah.
Do you? I mean,
I do. And much to my dismay, when I was a young boxer, I loved tigers. Growing up, tigers. So I must be Year of the Tiger. Clearly, Year of the Tiger. I look at it like, wait a minute, this is printed wrong. I'm like, Year of the Rabbit.
Oh.
Rabbit. How could that's not because I used to have tigers on my boxing trunks. So I thought for sure I'd be Year of the Tiger, maybe Year of the Dragon if I had to settle. I'm like, Rabbit.
Yeah.
So much to my dismay, I'm Year of the Rabbit. Whatever that means, I have no idea, because once I saw that it was not the tiger, I was totally disheartened. I'm like, this has no meaning for me at all.
But when you were still a professional boxer back then, did you have the Eye of the Tiger?
I'd have to say that what the Eye of the Tiger means in that story, in that song, as it is, that's any fighter that fights with any level of worth would have that level of intent, purpose, and ability.
Outstanding.
So
is there a website for the Chinese New Year Parade here in Stockton this year that listeners can visit to learn more about the history, about what to expect?
It's StocktonCNYC.org.
That's www.stockton CNYC Chinese New Year Celebration.org. And okay, that's great.
And you guys are anticipating feeding like hundreds of people.
Yes.
So this is kind of a big thousands even at this point. You anticipate thousands?
We're working for hundreds, hoping for thousands.
Well, you'll actually, because it's first come, first serve.
Right.
So I know I've been there, and you run out of food. So that's why I'm saying I want to be.
And then we replenish.
Yeah, but I want to. I'm sometimes I'm like, when I finally get a break to go get food, it's like, oh no, it's down to the scrapings, because it has been an overwhelming crowd, and people are there and getting more and more. Yes. So and then I might leave, and you're replenishing or something, but. I know it's always a fun time. It's a great family time.
Yes.
And it's one of these things that you do, John, as you mentioned, that, being in a great community and something that's, celebrating diversity and culture and a very rich history. It's a very important history for Stockton and San Joaquin County, because the Asian community did contribute a tremendous amount. And, one of the early settlers, some of the early farm laborers and farm workers. There are a lot of farmers that are Asian at this point. Do you know? Do we have a lot?
Not at this time, but in the past.
At one time, yeah.
Yes.
And we had one of the largest Chinatowns here in Stockton.
Yes. And Stockton actually was known to the Cantonese-speaking Chinese as the third largest city in California where Chinese were. First it was San Francisco, and then Sacramento, and then it was Stockton.
How big is Sacramento's Chinatown? Because obviously San Francisco's is big and robust. I was just there a couple weeks ago, and it's very active. But how big is Sacramento's? I wouldn't even know where it is.
I think now it's all spread out into different areas.
Dilutes a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically you still have strongholds in San Francisco, of course, as we just mentioned, and in Stockton you still have a strong, robust community.
Not so much anymore. It's been spread out too because of the Crosstown Freeway and that activity. So before it was all within 5 square blocks, but now it's kind of spread around town.
The Crosstown Freeway kind of divided at some point, and that had a lot of impact on Old Stockton.
Yes, it did.
And a lot of residents that used to live here, back, I'm sure you've got family members that would say this used to be here and this used to be there and this was where we grew up or how commerce was, and it was all central to downtown.
Yes.
Any final thoughts on this year's New Year's Parade? Any thing you would like our listeners to know?
Parade's going on, rain or shine. Obviously, we're hoping for some shine, but it's going on regardless. And just come on out and have a good time. Enjoy some Chinese-related activities.
Culture, sure.
Yeah.
And I want to thank you. I work on a lot of political campaigns, and I want to thank the parade committee for always making sure that my people that I'm working with have a spot in the parade and that they're introduced. I know coordinating all the entries and reading the bios or the notes can be very difficult, and you always put that without a hitch. And I just want to thank you,
thank you
for your hard work.
You're welcome.
In doing that and working with us to do that. It's such a great thing.
Thank you. We just want to say that it's free. Everything
It is,
that's
yeah.
going on Sunday is free.
Yeah, even food.
No,
Okay.
no,
Careful.
No admission.
Just admission and participation, the kids
Yeah.
zone,
Yeah.
parade, all of it. And it's always good fun. And we are looking at the forecast is going to clear up on late Saturday and into Sunday. So should be a nice, good, fun, cool day.
And we're hoping.
So yeah, I've got a traditional jacket that I'm going to wear that I got in downtown Chinatown a while back, and I truly enjoy the culture and being part of it because it's just a great fun time.
Yeah, we
and
love having you here.
Good celebration.
Thank you.
John, real quick question though: Are you have family here? You're growing. You seem like a young fella. What's your long-term plans?
I don't plan on leaving, if that's the question. I do plan on maybe having a family one day. When that day is, we don't know yet because life gets busy. But most of my family's here. I have a brother in San Jose and a brother in LA.
Okay.
So we're still pretty close to each other.
Right, but thanks for staying here and being here because it is important. Instead of having a brain drain, we've got bright young men like you, and you're younger than me, so I can say bright young men. I appreciate that you guys stay here and you are invested in and participating in your community because it's very easy for anybody to you go to work, you pay your bills, you do your fun little recreation thing, go to the gym, take care of your life, and be responsible, good citizens. But not a lot of people do that extra thing that makes a difference, and you guys are part of that committee and part of a culture and participating that makes a difference in our community. So I really recognize and appreciate that.
Oh, thanks.
So thanks
I
for
have
being
quite
here.
a few people on the committee that I look after for that kind of guidance. There's plenty of people that do a lot within our group.
True.
And they're great examples of what community service is about.
Yeah, and I'm part of the chamber, the Asian Chamber. correct?
Central Valley Asian
Central Valley
American
Asian
Chamber
Chamber.
of
I'm part.
Commerce, yes.
It's a new year. Am I up for renewal?
Oh, yes.
I might be. I have to pay. Do I pay you, or who am I paying? Who's
you'll
going to
have
send
to,
me?
You'll have to see Leslie.
Leslie. Okay, Leslie's the one that's always getting money. So
Yeah.
I'll maybe Sunday if I see her, I'll take care of that.
There you
But
go.
I'm always proud to be part of you guys and part of the activities you have. The great food celebrations.
Yes.
And that's one of the things. You ever get a chance to go to any of the dinners and celebrations? It's 12 courses of delicious, at least 12 courses of delicious food. That's
No rubber chicken.
yeah, no, ever.
Thank goodness.
No, all good food. So thanks you guys for being here. We'll be seeing you on Sunday. And I really appreciate you being part of our show today and for all that you're doing in the community. It really makes a difference.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. Thank you guys. Ted, are we wrapping up? I've got a
you
board
have
meeting
It's
10
time
minutes
to
ago.
wrap it up.
So Governor Don, where are we at? Governor John, Governor Don, where are we?
Governor John's his little brother.
Governor Don, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it
Yes, sir. Yes,
for getting us in today, and you have a
course.
great day. It's back to you.
You too, man. Thanks, Supervisor.
Da 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 da, shabadi da do da da da, shadabada dee da da da, shadalada dee da do da da da, shadabada dee da da da, shadabada be da do da da da, shadabada beat da da da, yeah, shadabada dee da, shad to buy is good.
The Third City Podcast is a production of Third City Coalition. In our show, we examine case studies in urban development in Stockton and other cities like Stockton across the country, exploring their local and regional impacts. Individual efforts play a role in Third City development, and it starts with you.